So now we have the asset keyed in. Now what this is looking for is the location, rotation, and the scale and everything else. Now what is it going to be? Now we don't really have the access to the weapon, or the weapon that is currently used by the player. Not this particular weapon, but the weapon that's currently used by the player. So for that, we first have to cast it. Cast to player. Okay, and that would be this. Okay, and cast to player, and as player, let's get the current weapon. So this is what we're looking for. If we're looking for this particular variable, we're trying to get this particular variable from the weapon base. So we'll say get current weapon, and this, it's right there. There you go. Okay, move this towards the right a bit because we have to get the location, rotation, and all that. Okay, so now that we have the current weapon, let's look for the socket and its transform. So I'm going to say get socket transform. Okay, get socket transform of this particular static mesh and not the default scene root. So that way we can directly enter the static mesh and get it. So once we do that, and let me move that here and move this here. Okay, and I just have to right click and split the struct pin and connect this to the location, this to the scale, and the scale, let's see, or also connect this to the scale and maybe line them up like that. And if I hit compile and it says object is undetermined, okay, out here the socket name has to be, let's go back to our viewport, the skeleton mesh, and let's get the socket name. I shouldn't have closed it. Go back to my skeleton, and it's called projectile. So I'm going to hit F2, copy that so that I don't make a mistake, and close all of this. Come back to weapon base, put that in here, and keep that as RTS world. That's okay. And for the target, oh no, or for the object out here, it's got an error here. So we will say get player character, because it's a player character. It's a character, not a player character. All right. Compile that and should be fine. Now let's try and play and shoot the weapon, and there you go. And it's right now it's too huge, and also the velocity and all that. I'm out of ammo. I'm gonna hit play again, and I'll just shoot. Right click. It's too big, and that's because the scale out here is 111. So if you want to change that, or instead of adding hard-coded values, what you can do is you can simply say, you can multiply this, multiply vector multiplied by float, and you can say 0.5, so which means that half the scale of the current scale, and then you can connect that now to the scale, so it should be way smaller, or half the size of that. So I can play it from here right now. And there you go, and decent enough. Shoot again. Oh, out of ammo. So all right, so you can also play around with this transform space. So if you say the parent bone space might not work for the most part, I'll just try it anyways, and that's a bone space, which is crazy. So if I say RTS component, and again the same issue, and RTS actor, same issue. So the best is RTS world, because it takes in the world space of that particular socket and spawns that emitter at that particular location. Awesome. Also, if I hit play now, and it's still a little big, right? So I think I'll just bring this down further down by 0.1. So let's see if I say 0.1 and oh, okay. I'll hit play again. Not the best looking muzzle flash, but gets the job done, and you know how to do it now. But also, if I go back to my AK-47 and look at the mesh, the projectile, I think it should be, I don't know, I think I'll just get rid of the preview mesh for now. I'll just say remove selected, remove children, remove selected, delete. No. Okay. So I'll just say add preview mass asset, and I'll just go for remove all attached assets, and there you go. So I'll see. I think this is coming from maybe the rotation. I believe is supposed to be here, and okay, and maybe let's say relative rotation is this, and if I rotate it this way 90 degrees, there you go. And maybe I'll just move this, I don't know, it's too fast. I'll just move this a bit down like this, and when I hit save, I come back here, play. Not the best looking, something wrong here. Okay, I think I'll just get rid of all these, save. All right, so I think I'll just bring this down a bit like that, or maybe a little bit down. I don't know if this will work. Let's see. That works. The muzzle flash is there, and okay, all right, fine. So not the best looking muzzle flash, but it gets the job done for a prototype. And of course, as I said, you can switch this to something else. And if you hadn't hooked up, I'm just gonna save this. If you hadn't hooked up the rotation to the spawn emitter rotation, so this is what is gonna happen. So I'll hit compile, play. If you see that, it's moving sideways because it's not really taking the rotation into account. So once you take the rotation into account for the projectile socket, that way, even if you're moving around, I'll hit play. Okay, so it does not really move sideways. Okay, so that works great for us. All right, so we have everything we need for the muzzle flash, and we're gonna move on quickly and without wasting a lot of time on aesthetics, because there's always time for us to return and work on those aesthetics and replace ugly looking things with pretty looking things, but not until the base fundamentals are cleared. All right, so we have most of the things cleared up, and we'll keep on moving, we'll keep on studying around, and we'll keep on proceeding with all the basic mechanics for the first person shooter game taken care of, and then maybe it's up to us to how to beautify the game. Right, so that's about it for adding the muzzle flash in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.